why is it that whenever I want to hang art around my home, I can never find any pieces that really speak to me? You don't want to just go and pick something up at your local home decor store, you know, just to fill the empty space in your home. You really want something with maybe a story behind it, something that you have a connection with. So today we will be talking about 5 different ways to find art for your home that are more unique, more personal to you. And also, we will not be making our own art in this video. So if you're not keen on like creating your own art, then don't worry, we're not making anything. These are just ways that you can source art that's more unique to you. So let's get started. So our first option in finding unique art for you is to visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art website. We're not going to the actual museum in New York City. Most of you have probably heard about this museum, but maybe you didn't know that they allow us to download photos of the art that they display in the museum. And we can download these for free, so you don't even have to pay to buy the PDF or the JPEG file. Just like Etsy, you can download art from Etsy, which is another great option. Those ones you have to pay for, but here on this website, as long as you choose the open access option, open access means that you are able to download it for free. This website has a lot of different options for art, different eras, different parts of the world, Europe, Asia, different styles, contemporary, modern, portraits, you know, landscapes, things like that. So there's a lot to choose from. Try to find something that really speaks to you. Make sure to click open access because these are the ones that we're allowed to download for free. Lots of interesting photos. Now, if you're into people staring at you at night when you're walking down the hall to get a glass of water and you're like, that guy is just staring right at me, then the photograph section is for you. You kind of just want to browse and see, you know, if anything speaks to you. Something like this is what I would sort of be drawn to, because is this from, yeah, Mariposa Grove in Yosemite. I think these are sequoias. Yeah, of the great sequoia trees in Calaveras Grove. Okay, so see, this is a good option if I'm looking for something with an antique feel, that I have a connection to this in some way because I've been there before and I've seen these trees in person. And you know, if you've ever been there and seen sequoia trees, you know just how sort of spectacular they are. It really is, you know, just a photo that draws memories and emotions, and you're not just putting a piece of art that's sort of like a random landscape. While those are pretty, you know, they just don't really speak to you and speak to who you are and the experiences that you've gone through. So I think this is a great option, you know, since I've been there, or for anyone else that sort of, like, if you look at it and those trees draw emotion from you, then, you know, that's a good option. It's all just about how you feel and what you feel when you look at a piece of art. Okay, so moving on to number 2, and that is using a vintage silk scarf, or any silk scarf. It doesn't need to be vintage, but this one I found at an estate sale, and I just really loved the pattern and the color. So I love brown decor, and you know, it has different shades of brown, so dark brown, almost like a red tone in there. So I would love to hang this up, you know, put this in a frame and hang it up somewhere. So I think this is a great option, and it really brings like that organic feel to your home because it's a textile. And then you can even see like some raw edges, you know, just some imperfections. Not everything needs to be so perfect. It's okay to have like some imperfections here and there. because again, it gives it more character and sets it apart from what everybody else has. And so if you find a scarf, you know, a lot of people like designer scarves like Chanel and Hermes, like, you know, brands like that. So there are those out there, more expensive. This one was like $1 at an estate sale. So there's a wide range when it comes to the prices, but just if you come across one, grab it. You can hang it up. If you get tired of it hung up, you know, you can just tie it on your purse or a bag. So this is a great option. If you find one that you like and you want to see the pattern, then hang it up. I think that would look really pretty somewhere. Okay, moving on to number 3. So number 3 is using mementos from places that you've traveled to. So this can be things like postcards. You know, postcards is an obvious one. And then earlier in the video, I mentioned something about frames. So if you are at a thrift store or you find a frame for really cheap that you like and that you think is worth buying, then I would suggest buying it. And so for example, you have a cheap frame and you have this postcard that you want to put in the frame. You can then take your frame to Michael's or anywhere that does custom matting, which is like the background in the frame. So you can have like the matting customized to the size of your postcard. So then when you hang your postcard in that frame, it really kind of looks, you know, custom to that size. Other items in this category can include, you know, tickets to like a concert or a brochure to a museum, or tickets from riding the subway or the tube in England, like a menu that maybe you guys tried a new restaurant while you were traveling and they had these little cute paper menus. You can frame that and again have it matted to that specific size, so that way it just looks more custom and sort of more proper in your home. And sometimes, you know, things like tickets or brochures can be an awkward size, so having that custom mat, really good way to sort of like not make it look so awkward when you hang it up. Kind of make it look like it really belongs in that frame, because it really does belong, thanks to the customized mat. Of course, pictures from your trips. You know, this is an obvious one, but I do want to emphasize that not every picture needs to be like a posed photo. You don't always need to be posing looking at the camera. I think that candid photos are sort of just so almost like a natural snippet of time that you kind of just want to capture. That's what a photo is, right? Like this just moment in time that you want to capture and relive almost. And so when you are posing, that's not really the moment that you want to relive. The moment that you want to relive is you at the beach, you know, holding your child and looking at the ocean. That's the moment that really draws emotion and that you're like feeling in awe, and you just see the water, the endless horizon, and you just are in awe of that beauty. And so when you look at the photo of you holding your child looking at the ocean, like that's the moment that you're reliving. So anyways, just try to capture candid photos or have your partner capture candid photos of you, so that way you can really look at those photos around your home, and then you're really truly looking at that, you know, that moment that you just really loved. That's what I need to do more in my home. I need to add more photos in general, but I've noticed like candid photos are there's just something more special about them and just more like raw about them. So adding more of those, I think, just makes your home feel more like personal to you. Again, telling the whole story of you and your family. So that's another, you know, thing from your travels to add on your walls in your home. Okay, number 4. So this is for the music lovers. If you are really into music, let's say you play, let's say piano, or you sing,
this is a great option for you. So another thing that you can frame and use as art is sheet music. This is a great option because one, you can find a song that really is personal to you, like let's say it's your wedding song or just one of your favorite songs that you like, and you find that it really draws a certain emotion out. So you can pick the sheet music from that certain song, hang it up. One, it just, it kind of displays that you are a musical person, and two, it displays the meaning of the song to you and to other people that may come into your home. This type of image, if you will, sort of adds a pattern break because it's not like a landscape or a portrait. It's more like just a page with like symbols and linear characters. So it kind of like gives your eye a break of all the colors and floral designs going on. And this can also be done not just with sheet music, but also say you do have a song that's special to you, again, like a wedding song, or maybe it was a song at your grandparents' or your parents' wedding that sort of, means a lot to you. Instead of having the sheet music, you can have the lyrics just printed on some sort of paper. Pick a font that you really like. You can even design it yourself, and you can just really sort of customize that to your style based on the font and the type of paper that you choose. And again, that can offer a pattern break and kind of like give your eye a rest because it's not a floral pattern or a landscape or a portrait. It's really just these words on a sheet of paper, and oftentimes it's gonna be like black and white. So it can really just offset the busyness going on from the other pieces of art around it. So, why does art even matter? Does it matter? I think it makes a big difference in your home. I think that it can really take your home from feeling like there's something missing. You have these bare walls, empty spaces. You don't really see any personality in the home. So it can transform your home from that into something just more rich, and it feels complete. It feels, one would say, elevated, but it's not really about being elevated or looking fancy or looking aesthetically pleasing. It's more about telling a story and showcasing what your family is about, what's important to you and your family. And so whatever you're hanging on your wall indirectly speaks to others in a way, and it tells people what you love and what you value. So I think in the end, you can have a really pretty home without spending so much money on art, without, spending your savings on a piece of art. I think that's important, to fill your surroundings with things that bring you joy and happiness. And it takes time. Maybe you need to collect art over a few weeks or a few months. It's okay, in the end, it will be worth it, and it will all just kind of cohesively work together. So this video will help you achieve that, And for number 5, so similar to number 4, this one is not going to be a portrait of someone or a landscape. This is going to be a pattern of some sort. So when I say pattern, I mean, let's say you find a type of wallpaper that you really like, but that wallpaper can add up really quickly. So instead of wallpapering a room, maybe you buy like just one sheet of the wallpaper. So you just frame that piece of wallpaper and hang it, and you have the pattern. You have that pattern that you were really drawn to. Other options for this can be a pillowcase. So I was looking at pillowcases recently, and there were some really, really pretty ones, and I remember thinking, this is just so pretty, I could frame this. And so, yeah, you can, it's, people hang tapestries, which is fabric, so you can hang it in a frame. Similarly, you can just get a piece of fabric from the fabric store. So if you want something different in your house that not everyone else has, go to a fabric store and see what really speaks to you, what you're drawn to. It can be a floral pattern. It can be, you know, more of like a geometric stripes. Sometimes you want to add color, but you don't want your whole couch to be that color, so adding it in smaller ways like that. Especially pattern can be really tricky to add into your home, and we all love like a floral couch sometimes, but it can be overwhelming just depending on the pattern itself. So adding maybe a floral pattern in a frame can be your starting point. Okay, so those are my 5 ways to find unique and personal art to you and your family. So I hope you try these, even if it's just one, you know, to start off with. I think that's a great start to making your home feel more like you and just represent you more in that way. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this if you haven't already, and I'll hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. And I feel like I have a few more ideas. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments and maybe we can do a part 2. There's just so many other ideas that I can give you to hang art that's, you know, more personal to you. All right, see you guys next time.